Well, good morning, friends, from a lovely little campsite at Paul Lake Provincial Park. It was a very, very peaceful night. I have this great campsite that's all the way at the edge of the campground. My neighbor is across the way, and one site over didn't come, so that has been lovely. However, I did wake up at 4:30, very excited, again, to get on the road, as one does. So I decided to make myself some tea and some oatmeal. I'm going to have a little breakfast before I pack up. And then I'm going to head to Louette to see the Little Abundance Artisan Bakery that I remember so well from my Canada trip with the REV'IT women's team. Very excited about that. First, let's pack up. Oh my gosh, it's a whole bunch. See them coming through? There's a tiny one. You can still see a few spots on it. I almost forgot that we were going to go check out the Cinnamon Ridge Hoodoos. So it's just a little 10-minute detour off of our route and then 10 minutes back. I think it's totally worth it to go check it out. So let's go see what the Cinnamon Ridge Hoodoos are all about.
I found the Cinnamon Ridge Hoodoos online with directions that read something like go to the end of Orr Road, turn left on Tranquille until you reach another section of Orr Road, go over the railroad tracks, turn left and go to the end of that road. I was certainly off the beaten path now. There were no tourists to be seen. It felt a lot like I was on someone's property until I saw a sign.
All right, mission accomplished. We got closer to the Hoodoos, which are the shapes of the rocks, I guess, carved by the glaciers. I think these are particularly beautiful. They're called Cinnamon Ridge, the Cinnamon Ridge Hoodoos. And I think that's because of the color of the dirt here, the rich maybe iron. You tell me what minerals are in the dirt to make it so beautiful. But for now, we have a bakery to get to. All right, let's hike back down and be on our way. What did you think of the road on the way down? It was fun to get to do a little bit of off-road to get here. Very little bit.
Before leaving, I noticed a map. I contemplated finding an off-road way to Lillooet, but they all seemed to end.
We are just gonna go get onto the highway. Plan update. I think I found a way. It adds a little time, but we have time. Okay. Wait. Aren't you? Okay. All right. And proper adventure, right? Highway left. Proper adventure, highway. What a lovely little ride this has been out to Red Lake. I wanted to talk about Lake. This morning I had every intention, this entire trip, I had every intention of not really doing any off-road because I didn't have the confidence around riding by myself off-road. I was worried that something could go wrong, and I have a lot of faith in myself to ask for help. Like, I may not know everything there is to know about riding off-road, and I may not know everything there is to know about working on my motorcycle, but I do know that I can ask people for help, and I trust in the kindness of strangers. So I think that is partly what got me where I am at this very moment. I still really admire all the people doing off-road because my anxiety level or nerves right at the beginning were pretty high. I was like, this is probably a bad idea. Why am I doing this? Why am I like this? Why did I go hiking last night at sunset in the bear forest? Why am I riding off-road by myself? There's a perfectly good bakery waiting for me. I have directions to it. And I really, really like to challenge myself. I like to know how I like to know my growing edge and push it, I guess. And I like taking the road less traveled. So here we are. I don't know why it's called Red Lake. It's not red. It is, however, beautiful. We have some more dirt to cover before we get back on the highway to Louette. And there still is a perfectly good bakery waiting for me. So I'm hungry and I'm ready to get going. This route continued past Red Lake, which looked like a popular fishing spot, and then wound back uphill. I'd thought this would be a fairly short jaunt to the highway following the lake, but every time I went downhill, I was then greeted by another uphill with a beautiful view. I eventually got to the point where I could see Highway 1 off in the distance, and I felt so grateful I'd chosen the proper adventure. I finally found my final descent. Well, we have come off that hill behind me, and there were spots where the road dipped so steeply that I'm like, I know there's a road in front of me, but I cannot see it. It just went zoop. Oh, that was a really, really fun descent. So I think we're a couple of kilometers maybe from Highway 1. The road's still gravel, so I don't know when it's going to turn paved again, but I'll turn on a little helmet cam when that happens. And then we're gonna go get us some yummy baked goods. We're still like 2 hours away. So hungry! Off of Highway 1, I turned onto Highway 99, which wound through the mountains and followed the Fraser River all the way to Louette. I was definitely hungry by this point, but also fondly remembering being somewhere in the nearby hills a few years ago. I stopped for a moment at the Louette Sign to enjoy the view of the small town, and then headed down the hill to lunch. I could hardly believe that Highway 99 could get more beautiful, but it definitely did. The road was twisty with views of magnificent peaks while continuing to follow the river. I enjoyed the game of overtaking cars and RVs while enjoying breathtaking views all the way to Squamish. Wow, what a beautiful highway. But for now, I am ready to go be nurtured. Looking forward to the Women's Moto Summit. I am almost there. Woo! We made it!
The Women's Moto and Wellness Summit is an annual wellness retreat for female riders. It is held at the magnificent Chikai Ranch, a lovely horse rehabilitation and rehoming facility nestled along the banks of the Chikamus River, and the summit offers breathwork, yoga, Pilates, painting, singing bowls, and more. This is the ultimate unwind, a time to reconnect with self and to build connections with kindred Moto women. My nature and my work is to be a giver, and for me this retreat was about receiving. I parked the bike and felt the adrenaline melt away. I found myself calming, grounding, and connecting with myself and others. I'd ridden my dirt bike over 1,000 miles by myself, but I was never alone. I carry with me Nathan's love and support and years of mentorship, and I also carry with me all the people who have inspired me to do this journey. And by the end of the summit, I was ready to come back home to a life that is full of love, support, and vibrance.
Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Canada and sharing in all of the fun adventures. Please like the video, subscribe if you'd like to join us on more adventures like this, and leave me a comment below about some place you'd like to travel, and I'll see you on the next ride.